It seems like every PC game in the market won't just let you slide by simply owning and playing the game. In order to play, you gotta download a third-party app, mostly being a game launcher, just to access the title. But do any of you remember when all you simply needed was the exe file just to open the game? If you said yes, well, I'm jealous because I don't. I was born into this shit. For as long as I've been claiming the title of a PC gamer, outside of a few indie games that were removed from other platforms like Dark and Darker or games that I obtained from other means, I've never bought a title with my own money that didn't require a separate install of a game launcher, even when I had physical PC games. Grand Theft Auto 5 came with 7 discs and a 10-hour install time, so you'd think they shove off anything extra, but nope, that gift just kept on giving. More game launcher installs. Now, for the most part, I've learned to live with this trend in gaming. I mean, it is kind of annoying to have to wait for a game launcher to open just for you to play the game, but considering the ease that these launchers can also bring as far as buying games and connecting with friends, it's a pretty fair trade-off at the end of the day. At least that's what I thought up until recently, because for the last few days, I have not been able to get this damn EA app working, which it feels like a sin to say that out loud. I'm not proud of the fact that I'm using any EA service, but goddamn it, they got some of my games that I've been locked out of for days now, all because of their downgraded app that looked better aesthetically when it was original. Seriously, why did they change that? So all of that happened and spawned this video idea. Why do we even have game launchers, and why are there so freaking many? There's good reasons, there's bad reasons, there's even more bad reasons that I want to explain to you all today, and hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a better understanding as to why so many games have their own launchers. So let's start this video out on a positive note and list the supposed good intentions behind game launchers implementation, because once I start talking, I'm not gonna stop. So some of the main reasons that we even got game launchers in the first place was to eliminate the hassle of online gaming and receiving updates for your PC games. You see, in the 90s up until the 2000s, playing PC games online with your buddies was unnecessarily hard unless you played on local area network, or basically in really close proximity with each other. I just know that room is hot as hell. The internet wasn't nearly as capable as it is now, and even then, a lot of games required a key to access online features, which became heavily restricted, leaving a lot of gamers unable to use it. So online gaming was a big pain in the ass, and then with the game patches, if you weren't in the know and knew exactly when a new patch was out, your game could fall behind on updates, which you would have to manually find and install to your game. So yeah, playing on PC during that time was dope and all, but with the hoops that you had to jump through just to get proper support and new features, it definitely made that PS2 look like a real sexy choice for gaming in the early 2000s. But then that changed. As most of us already know, 2003 was the year that Valve launched their launcher for their early games named Steam, which served as an updater, online hub, and marketplace for every Valve title. Everything that all PC games needed at the time, but didn't completely have across the board. So even though the application was at first Valve exclusive, in the later years, Valve found a way to capitalize on the drought and went on to turn Steam into what it is today, establishing its service as a central hub for many PC games. Basically doing everything but dropping Half-Life 3, they really thought they were slick. This new rise of game launchers also led the way for other established third-party gaming companies to create their own launchers and introduce new features like gameplay optimization with Nvidia's launchers, or the free game sales that you get with the Epic Games launchers, all good reasons to use them, so it's not like they don't have their own benefits. But then as time went on, we went from having just a few launchers to choose from, to even more options for game launchers, to literally every game studio now having their own version of a game launcher. It's the film streaming industry all over again, except now with video games. Game launchers are so saturated now that it's not even funny, but why is that exactly? What more benefit could all these game launchers with some that don't even work possibly be giving with their existence? Well, this is where it gets negative, and we see the true colors behind these gaming companies. First off, it should be pretty obvious that the main reason that we see so many is money. Studios only make a cut of the profit having their games sold on a separate platform like Steam, so Now more publishers are just cutting out the middleman directly and charging full price for their games on their own service and seeing all of the profit. Not to mention them charging for other premium services on these launchers too, because if you thought they stop at just the game, well, you're just as delusional as Sony for charging $200 to cloud game and still requiring a PS5. Game studios also want more control over the piracy market since it's only increasing with time, so a lot of these game launchers also have their own digital rights management services to try and put obstacles in the way of pirating, which almost never works, but you know. And another reason that we see so many of these launchers that kind of flies under the radar when talking about it is the fact that these companies can easily engage in telemetry on their own platforms. If you don't know, telemetry is the collection of data that companies use to gain insight on their consumers, and if that sounds weird, well, that's because it is. And most of the time, you accept to it when you blindly agree to a company's terms of service. You should probably start reading those. So, what started as a way to make PC games easier for the majority of users has turned into yet another company greed scheme for many game publishers. And you know, it's sad to see it turn into this, but it's the reality that we live in, so hopefully we see less of it in the future and this damn EA app starts working again really soon. Because I might crash out if it doesn't. So, what do you guys think about game launches, man? Feel free to comment down below. And as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one.